Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a very glitter heavy design. So I've got two very beautiful glitters in my collection and I don't think I've ever actually touched them. I depotted them, put them into my drawer and never touched them again. So now that of course we're in Valentine's, I thought they would basically work perfectly with the theme. It's pinky and I've also got some glitters that are shaped. So I thought let me try and combine them together to create today's design. So that's kind of the main showstopper that I was trying to come up with the glitter today. So all the glitters that I'm using today is from Glittery, so I'll make sure to leave a link in my description. I know recently I think there was a video where I said I was going to leave and I didn't, but I promise going forwards it's always going to be under my videos. YouTube have this setting where sometimes you can actually just every time you upload they just automatically paste your regular description, so that's really cool. So I've added it in there now, so every single video should have that down there now. It's a really nice place for glitters. They offer a lot of wholesale options, but you can also buy in smaller batches. Perfect for us nail techs. So definitely give them a go because they're super cheap, affordable. They come really quick. And yeah, I don't really know how they make the money, but they've got so many glitter options on there and they're super cheap. So I highly recommend. So now with our nails, we've only got one gel polish today, just because again, the glitter is going to be our showstopper. It's going to be the main attraction of today's design. So we've got 3 nails that are fully pink, and then the other 2, I'm going in with the pink and I'm just outlining half of a heart, not a circle. And I'm going to colour in all around and leaving the centre of the heart. So you want to do the exact same thing on the other nail. Of course, just flipping it around. So basically we're going to do 2 nails that kind of connect together to make a heart. So I'm just working on the other nail right now. A little disclaimer though, don't worry about getting the heart shape too precise, too perfect. It doesn't really matter. You can even have the lines quite wonky. Don't worry, don't stress too much about getting it perfect, just because we are going to go ahead and cover up the line that we create with some crystals and flowers. So as long as you didn't do a humongous mess up, it should be fine and we'll be able to just cover it up and yeah, just cover up any little wobbly lines that you might have done. So don't worry about it too much. I do recommend watching the video to the end and then maybe going ahead and recreating if you are wanting to, just so you see kind of the technique and the method of what I was going for. So now that that's cured, we've got 2 layers of everything applied. Now I'm going in with base coat, and I'm going to use base coat as my method of getting the glitter onto the nail, curing it in place, and also helping myself kind of build up the nail a little bit so it's not too bumpy and lumpy. And the reason I went in with base coat was just because I thought that base coat is something that everybody will have in their collection. So I thought, let me try and use something that everyone can recreate rather than starting to use, I don't know, clear acrylic for example, or builder gels where not everybody will have that in their collection. So that was kind of my way of thinking with today's video. So now here are the glitters. We are using this one first, and you only want to place it in the center where we've kind of outlined the heart, so where the see-through part is. The only downside to this glitter, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got some see-through hexes in there which bother me so much. I just feel like they're unnecessary. Why are they there? Like, they bring nothing in my opinion. They're just see-through and they bother me, and yeah, they're just annoying. So bear that in mind if you're going to buy this exact one. It's quite annoying, but the rest of the glitter is quite pretty. It's a mix between whites, and some of the hex pink ones have like, it's almost like ombre in there. It's pretty cool. So that's nice. And now I'm going in with a lint-free wipe and some nail prep cleaner. And I'm just going around because there were little bits and bobs where I've placed the glitter a bit too far into the pink. Which is obviously a problem, but if it ever so slightly just goes over the edge, again, it's fine. We will just cover it up with some crystals and gems and all sorts in a moment later in the video, so don't worry about it too much. And then once you apply it on both, pop it into the lamp, of course, cure it into place, and then I'm going in again with a base coat, which you will see in a second. And at that point in time, we are going to place some of the little shaped glitters that I've got going on in the background right now. It's a massive mix of shapes, so there are some stars, I think there's a flower there's a couple of different shaped hearts in there too. So if you wanted to make it strictly Valentine's-y, just pick up the hearts, but I quite enjoyed picking up like the stars and everything too, so I just went ahead and just started using them more, to be honest, especially because I've never used them before, so it was quite nice to use everything that it's got to offer, really. So that's kind of what I went for today. So I'm just messing about and fiddling with the glitter still. There we go, it's come out. Time for another layer of base coat. And again, so I'm going to pick up those little pieces. I've just placed a couple onto the cap of the glitter container that I had it in. And then it was actually quite hard to pick up. So usually I like to just dip my brush into some base coat so that it's sticky. And then I go ahead and just individually pick up each shaped glitter. I'm so sorry, guys. I feel like I can't talk today. And then I start placing. But I noticed that the glitter must have been a bit too heavy. It just would not pick up. So instead, I went in with my brush that I usually use for rhinestone glue gel. Dipped it very gently into some of the rhinestone glue gel, which is kind of why it's a bit hard to get it off my brush right now. But it was the only method that I found that would just pick it up. I could use a wax tool too, but I just find sometimes when I do it that way, it still falls off my wax pen for some reason. So this was the best method that I could have came up with at the time of recording. So basically right now it looks like a little bit of a mess, so you can't really see it too much, but trust the process. Near the end, when we matte top coat the nails, I think here you can see how it's just not working. I tried the base coat, but it just wasn't working. But yeah, later on when we matte top coat, the matte top coat is really going to bring out the hearts and the stars and everything that I've placed in there. So right now it's kind of falling behind with all the rest of the glitter. It looks like a bit of a mess. You can't really tell. Almost feels like this step is kind of unnecessary, but I really, really like the final results once we matte top coat. So definitely stay tuned right till the end when we see the final results, because it looks so cool. I really like matte top coating glitters, especially ones like this where it really kind of brings out what you're trying to put in there. So again, I'm just repeating this, and naturally I'm just placing smaller shapes at the bottom just because we've got less space, and then the larger ones at the top, and then pop it into the lamp. So we are going to repeat this on 2 other nails. One nail is going to be basically the whole nail full of that first glitter, and then same with those little shapes. The other nail is we're only going to focus it at the top part of the nail, just because the bottom part of the nail, we're going to do a sugared French tip, so it was a bit unnecessary to just continue it all the way down. If you wanted to, you can. Nothing will change, like it won't really do much, other than maybe you just wasting slightly your products, really. But obviously, if you're a bit undecided whether or not you want the sugared French tip, then just go ahead and do a whole nail, and then you can make that decision later, rather than going in with the French tip and then deciding you don't want it, and now you can't really do much just because you've awkwardly just placed the glitter at the top and just left the bottom. So yeah, so now we're doing that full nail right now, and it was actually so much more fun to place the glitter just because you've got a full nail, full canvas to just play about and just chuck the glitter on top. Whereas when I was doing the heart, I kind of had to really stay in the lines and make sure I'm trying to cover up as much as I can, because we did have that kind of see-through area. So here I'm just kind of fiddling with the glitter and just trying to spread it out evenly as much as I can, and then popping it into the lamp, of course. So now it's that half nail. So I will apply the base coat on the whole nail just to keep it even, and I'm not having any, thicker bits here, but not as thick, at the bottom or anything like that. And again, we're going in with that glitter and just scatter that bad boy all over the top, about halfway, and then pop it into the lamp again as well, just like we did with the other one. And then we can place our little shapes onto the nail, which is going to happen now. And of course, again, once you pop into the lamp, the shapes are actually quite thick, which wasn't really ideal. Once you've got it on there and you're happy with how it looks, feel free to do a couple of layers of base coat, whether it's 1 or 2, cure it. It will help with the thickness and the bumpiness of the nail. And then if there's any areas still that you're kind of uncomfortable with or you don't really like, go ahead and get a buffer, a file or a drill, whatever you're comfortable with, and just file the nail down to make it smooth. Obviously for me, I am just filming this for design purposes, so I'm just kind of wanting, I'm just doing a tutorial for you guys to show you a different design and get you guys inspired for Valentine's. But if I was doing this on nails that would be worn by someone, then I'll definitely make sure that they're smooth, because there's nothing worse than just some random bumps and lumps on your nail, or bumps where you can actually start catching it on things. Oh gosh, I can't imagine that. I hate it. Or guys, when you've got your nails done and they start lifting, you can get your hair stuck. It's like the worst thing ever. So I would personally go ahead and file it. But again, if you're someone who doesn't mind it and you're doing the nails on yourself and you don't mind the bumpiness or the lumpiness of it, that's perfectly fine. As long as whoever's wearing them is happy, then that's all that matters. So this one is about to be finished. It'll go into the lamp. Okay, so all done and dusted. Next part is to do a 3D flower using acrylic, and we're also going to place this stunning pink flower right there in the kind of center on the left hand side, and then 1 AB at the bottom, 1 AB crystal at the top, pop it into the lamp. Then we can start working on our acrylic flower. So I found myself picking up these flowers so much this Valentine season. I don't know what it is. I've had these flowers forever in my collection, literally forever, and I never pick them up. It's quite rare. And then this season, I feel like I've been picking them up like almost every other design that I'm making for Valentine's right now. I just feel myself drawn to these flowers. Don't know what it is, but I feel like it's looking pretty cute, and I like that they're pink as well. It's like almost the perfect pink. So the monomer that I'm using today is from Glitterbels. The brush I'm using today is also a Glitterbels 3D acrylic brush as well. So it's literally made for acrylic, like acrylic 3D work. And I am also using a Glitterbels white acrylic. So I'm using Snowdrop White, I think it's called. So this container is quite small because I ended up applying for their like courses, so you can actually get like the whole starter kit. So you get like little pots, starter little pots. So that's what that one is. And but if you wanted to, they do much bigger. Of course, it's a core powder, so they do offer naturally the big pots that you get. And if you're wondering how I do the flowers, so I just place down my bead. And sometimes I wait for it to get a bit of liquid in there. Like right now, I'm just kind of waiting around until I see that's fully covered in the liquid. I pop it down. Obviously, the video is sped up, and I just wait a little while. You don't want to be going in too quick whilst the bead is a bit too wet. If you're unsure if it's too wet, just give it a tap as if you were to make a flower. And you'll notice that it's a bit runny, and you just know that you have to wait a little while longer. And then when I just press down on the bead, I press down at an angle, which is how I create this kind of flower. If you are a regular on my channel, you know that I've used to use quite often the 3D carving gels that you get. I got mine on AliExpress a very long time ago now, and they've kind of proven to be very helpful in now doing 3D flowers with acrylics. So if you are a beginner and you're struggling, do try and invest. It doesn't have to be good. I mean, I got mine from AliExpress, so they were super cheap and affordable. 3D carving gels, or they're sometimes called 4D carving gels, and just give it a play. It doesn't cure, so you just kind of need to play around with feeling it out where you need to press to create the desired petal. And then once you've got it sorted, it's almost very similar with acrylic and your brush. Obviously, naturally, depends what you use with the 4D carving gel, because if you end up using a silicone tool like I did, it is slightly different using a brush, of course, but yeah, it's still very similar. It definitely helped me with my flowers with acrylic. And also, as you saw earlier, I am not in any means a pro, so you did notice that I placed a bead and then I ended up actually scraping it off because I noticed that it's too small and I wanted it slightly bigger. So, you know, there is still enough time with acrylic to wipe it off if it's not how you want it and stuff like that, and moldable and everything. So yeah, highly recommend personally. So I really hate you doing these long flowers. I still have not mastered them at all. So I'm still giving my best shot at it. But there is definitely a lot of improvements that I need to add, basically. I just need them a lot. So please excuse those long little petals. So that obviously just dries and sets into place. You don't need to pop that into the lamp because it's acrylic. So now it's time to matte top coat all these nails. So we're going in with my Madam Glam velvet matte top coat, and I'm just going to apply it on all of those nails, and of course going around the flower on the floral nail. Then you want to pop it into the lamp, and then we can start working on our sugared nail, and then a little bit of some crystal placement on the heart nails, and we're good to go. So overall, the design is pretty easy, I think. Hopefully you guys think too as well. It's not as busy as I usually do them, so it's a bit of a different one. Yeah, it's still a very long video today because it's just so time consuming to do all the glitter. The flower itself took some time because again, I'm not a pro, so it does take me a little time as well to get it right. So here we are. It's now matte top coated, and you can really see the hearts and the stars and everything just kind of shining through as the light hits it, and I absolutely love the way that looks. So I'm going in with my nail art brush, and I'm just going and doing my smile line and then colouring the bottom part of the nail. Then pick yourself out a glitter that is as similar as you possibly can to the colour that we're using today, and you want it to be a fine one because we're going to sugar the nail. Again, the glitter is from Larissa, believe it or not. I absolutely love that place. So just, yeah, sprinkle it on. I find myself also using this glitter a lot this season of Valentine's. A lot. Like, you can even tell in the container where it's like half full now, whereas it was literally full. Although it wasn't full at the start of Valentine's, but it's still one of my most used glitters. Like, it's pretty low. You might not be able to tell as much there, but it's pretty low compared to others. So yeah, here we are, sprinkling it on. So sorry, see, I can't talk today. Then just tap away any excess, pop it into the lamp. That one's good to go. Last nail now, well, 2, the heart nails. You just want to grab yourself some rose-tin glue gel, go around the hearts, and then you want to place some flowers, one of the smaller flowers, and also some AB and some pink crystals. So what I'm going to do is alternate my crystals and flowers. So I'm placing an AB down first, then a pink crystal, then a pink flower, and so on. When you get these flowers from Ali, Shein, wherever you get your little flower charms from, they usually come to different sizes, and they usually come in like a pack together. So you get the mix usually. You get the small ones and the big ones. So for the heart, I am actually using the smaller ones compared to the big ones. So the big one would be the one I placed on the other nail that we worked on, where I made the 3D flower with acrylics. That was a big pink flower. But here I'm using the small ones just because just the big ones were just too big, especially if you're going to do this design on a real client, and naturally their nail beds are going to be much smaller than what I'm obviously working on, so you definitely want to be picking up the smaller flowers. So yeah, just repeat this across the whole one part of the heart. Then again on the other heart. I only show you guys a small snippet of this because it's just very repetitive. And then also off camera, place some cavi beads in the center of the flowers and also in between each and every crystal, which also takes some time, which I just cut out because it's just long, very long. And then you've got yourself your final results. So the beauty today is in the crystals and in the glitter. That is the main showstopper. I hope I achieved it. I hope nothing else is really attracting you more than what I was hoping for, but it's okay. As long as something attracted you to today's video, that's great. I hope you guys liked it. It took a little while. It's quite time consuming, but I think it's super, super worth it. So we're going to stay on the other nail, and here are the final results. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!